Techniques on how to study fundamental teachings for practice. The main purpose of the Buddhist teachings is that the Lord Buddha taught people to know that we were born suffering, and he also taught how to extinguish suffering. To know about suffering and how to practice to extinguish suffering, the Buddha rendered basic external practice such as to refrain from unwholesome deeds, till the highest level of practice such as to make merit by giving, observing precepts, and developing mind. This is the principal teachings, Ovadhapatimakha, provided by the Lord Buddha as follows. Refrain from all unwholesome deeds. Abstain from wrong actions through body, speech, and mind. Perform wholesome actions only. Perform only right actions through body, speech, and mind. 3. Purify one's own mind from all defilements and cravings in the principal teaching. The Lord Buddha advises to stop all wrong actions first, and then perform only right actions. This is the fundamental of wholesome deeds, the supreme goal in performing wholesome actions that the Lord Buddha has taught is performing wholesome deeds in mind or developing mind by concentrating mind to be one-pointed and cultivate wisdom, pana, to eradicate all defilements because all defilements in mind are the causes of all suffering. We should study thoroughly and understand clearly how to practice to develop mind so that we can eliminate suffering. This depends on our practice and action. Here are some proverbs in Buddhism for our actions. One reaps what one has sown. If we perform wholesome actions, we will obtain certainly wholesome results. Unwholesome actions, unwholesome results. Whoever does wholesome deeds, what he will receive is wholesomeness, that is happiness. On the contrary, whoever commits unwholesome actions, what he will inevitably reap is vice, that is suffering. In Buddhism, the wholesome action that is considered best virtue is the one in mind by concentrating mind to be one-pointed and develop wisdom, pana, to get rid of all defilements completely. It is called mind development. If someone can practice mind till it is concentrated and develops wisdom, and he is able to eradicate all defilements, achieves the ultimate goal in Buddhism, that means he accomplishes the fruit of the worthy one, Arhat. This is the highest level of making merit. Only the holy one, worthy one, the one who has attained nibbana, extinction of all defilements and suffering, can extinguish perfectly all defilements. Being able to get rid of all defilements completely means being able to extinguish all suffering, because all defilements are the causes of all suffering. In order to be able to practice the teachings to scrape off and extinguish all defilements, to make merit by various means till the achievement of the ultimate goal in Buddhism, we have to prepare ourselves with confidence. We are to acquire knowledge and clear understanding of the teaching so that we can practice by ourselves in a correct way and fruitfully. The teachings that we should follow are, firstly, we have to know that according to the Buddhist teachings, we obtain wholesomeness and happiness as results from wholesome deeds. Thus, we have to know which actions are wholesome and which ones are not. In the principal teaching, the Lord Buddha taught all Buddhists 1. To refrain from all wrong actions, 2. To perform wholesome actions only, and 3. To purify one's own mind to be free from all defilements. 1. To refrain from wrong actions, i.e., wrong actions through body, through speech, and through mind. 3 wrong actions through body, killing any living creatures, taking what is not given, sexual misconduct. 4 wrong actions through speech, false speech, harsh speech, malicious speech, idle speech. 3 wrong actions through mind, being greedy for others' belongings, being vindictive, mistaking bad for good. At first, we are to stop absolutely all bad actions. If we cannot stop doing so, we cannot start doing meritorious deeds. Whenever we can certainly stop perpetrating sins, we will be able to start performing good actions and to make progress in it subsequently. 2. To perform wholesome actions only. In Buddhism, there are three means of performing wholesome actions. Wholesome actions through body, no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct. Wholesome actions through speech, no lies, no harsh speech, no malicious speech, no idle speech. Wholesome actions through mind, no greed for what belongs to others, no vindictiveness, taking right for righteousness. 3. To purify one's own mind is to be free from all defilements. We know well how to do bodily wholesome deeds. The next step is to do mental wholesome deeds, which are the ultimate wholesomeness in Buddhism. The purpose of Buddhist teachings is to train mind to be free from all defilements. In order to do internal wholesome deeds, we need to have knowledge on religious essence, which provides right practices through body and mind. If we do not have such knowledge, we will tend to practice wrongly easily. In this regard, studying the Buddhist teachings to train mind is very important because nobody can train his mind without knowledge and understanding on concentration meditation and insight meditation. Therefore, we have to study the teachings that will be fundamental for the practice. First of all, we should know about the truth of our life. The truth of life is characterized according to the Four Noble Truths. It depends on mindfulness and wisdom of each person to consider the truth accordingly. Thus, when we start studying Buddhism, we should study the Four Noble Truths because they teach the truth of life. The Four Noble Truths mean the truth of the Noble One, the Holy One, the Holy Truth. They are one important section of Buddhism comprising 1. The Noble Truth of Suffering, dukkha. 2. The Noble Truth of the Cause of Suffering, dukkha samudaya. 3. The Noble Truth of the Cessation of Suffering, dukkha nirodha. 4. The Noble Truth of the Path that leads to the cessation of suffering, dukkha nirodhagamini. From the Four Noble Truths, we will know how our life is. If we can reflect ourselves to understand them, we will know that every single life encounters suffering. We cannot understand well the Four Noble Truths because we lack thorough reflection upon them. We suffer due to three cravings. Sensual craving, kama tanha, desire. 5. Sensual pleasures consisting of visible object, sound, smell, taste, touch, and desire for sexual intercourse. 2. Cravings for rebirth, bhava tanha, desire for existence, for process of becoming. 3. Craving for self-annihilation, vibhavataha, desire for non-existence. To sum up, causes for our suffering are all cravings, desires. The Four Noble Truths means noblest truth because all of us, in fact, regardless of race or language, being commoner or elite, being rich or poor, seek for the truth so that we can be happy. Nobody wants to suffer. The Four Noble Truths teach the truth of our life. All lives are the state of suffering. In addition, the Four Noble Truths teach the means to attain salvation and eliminate all suffering. These are what the Buddha discovered and enlightened. These are the truth. According to the Four Noble Truths, the real state of our life is the state of suffering. It is the supreme truth in accordance with the three characteristics, tilakkhana, namely impermanence, suffering, and soullessness. That is why no other knowledge can render such valuable knowledge of truth as the Four Noble Truths do. They are, therefore, the noblest truths we should know and understand. Due to lack of careful reflection on the truth of our life, we are not able to know and understand life according to the truth that the Lord Buddha discovered, attained, and propagated to all Buddhists. When we start to understand that life is suffering, though we do not understand clearly, it does not matter. We can gradually practice, however. We need to have knowledge and practicing in teachings and let it lead our life always. This will enable us not to be imprudent in life and prone to errors. If we always are in the stream of wholesomeness, it is very beneficial for us. It is because nowadays a lot of unexpected natural disasters occur and cause heaves of people to death, such as the recent tsunami in south of Thailand and other countries nearby as well. In this regard, studying the Buddhist teachings and using them as guide for practice means that we lead our lives prudently every day, every minute, and we may meet in the future with happiness resulting from wholesomeness we have been accumulating as per our mindfulness and wisdom. When we study the Four Noble Truths and understand that lives regardless of race, religion, language, class, and caste are all suffering, we will find that the Lord Buddha also rendered the ways for us to lead our lives to attain salvation and eradicate suffering. That is Nidradha Gamini, the noble truth of path leading to cessation of suffering, or the Noble Eightfold Path. The Lord Buddha mentioned the three baskets, Tipitaka, as follows. I state that the middle path does not lean closest to the two sides. I know that it is the path to develop mental eye, jhana, absorption. It is for tranquility, utmost knowledge, enlightenment, and nirvana. Why did I state so? It is because the Noble Eightfold Path comprises right view, understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Samadhi, sama sankappa, sama vaka, sama kamananta, sama jiva, sama yavayama, sama sati, sama samadhi. In order to live our lives according to one of the Four Noble Truths, which is called the Noble Eightfold Path, we have to understand clearly how to behave to live our lives accordingly. The first aspect, right understanding, samadhi, is the right understanding of what the Buddha has attained. Life is suffering. When we have right understanding of the Buddha teachings, we have to seek ways to annihilate suffering. That is the second aspect, right thought, sammasankappa, which is right mental conduct. Manosukarita, consisting of three. 1. No greed for others' belongings. 2. No vindictiveness. 3. Taking right for righteousness. The third aspect is right speech, samavaka. Right speech means wholesome and correct speech, which does not cause any noise and trouble to others nor make others misunderstand. Right speech is called vasisukarita, good conduct in speech comprising 1. No false speech, 2. No harsh speech, 3. No malicious speech, 4. No idle speech. All above four are called moral conducts, sila, which means to keep body and speech wholesome. Precepts control body and speech to be in the stream of wholesomeness. When speech is controlled by precepts, there are doctrines to guide body to lead a wholesome life. They are the fourth aspect, right action, and the fifth aspect, right livelihood. The action according to these two doctrines is called bodily good conduct, kaya sukarita, comprising three conducts: no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct. The above three are wholesome deeds, which are called bodily good conduct. Our life will be in the stream of wholesomeness when we live our lives by right occupation. Thus our life will be outwardly pure, or bodily pure, which is called bodily good conduct, or moral conduct, or precepts, sila, that is, to keep body and speech wholesome. When we have doctrines to lead our lives in a wholesome manner, not to cause trouble to others, we can say that we lead our lives according to the noble path. We control our bodily conduct and mental conduct by precepts, sila. That is the practice in accordance with the Eightfold Path aspect, number 3, 4, and 5. Right speech, right action, and right livelihood. Next are inwardly wholesome deeds which are inside mind. How shall we perform to be considered wholesomely according to the noble path? The right answer is that we can follow the noble eightfold path, number 6, right effort. Right effort means effort to perform bodily and mentally wholesome deeds. Precepts can control bodily wholesome actions. Regarding the mentally wholesome actions, we need to have 4 efforts as follows. 1. The effort to avoid unwholesome states, samvara padhana. 2. The effort to overcome unwholesome states, pahana padhana. 3. The effort to develop wholesome state, bhavana padhana. 4. The effort to maintain or augment arisen good, anuraghana padhana. Keeping our mind in the stream of wholesomeness can be practiced by observing 4 efforts, each of which we have to manage to observe. We, therefore, have to understand the meaning of all of them so that we can follow them in a correct way. The important purpose of the Noble Path is to eliminate suffering, to be able to eradicate suffering according to Buddhism. We have to practice mind to develop concentration and insight so as to be able to reduce and eradicate cravings and desires in our mind, or to eradicate, we can say, suffering. It is because all suffering we encounter comes from all defilements. We have to lead our lives by following the Noble Path. We will then be able to eliminate suffering. Thus, when we understand efforts and use them as guideline to control our physical and mental actions, we have to be careful of our mind and always keep it in the stream of wholesomeness. The most important effort that brings utmost mental wholesomeness is the effort to develop wholesome states, bhavana padhana. It is the effort to cultivate wholesomeness, an inborn trait. Next is the aspect number 7, right mindfulness, samasati. Right mindfulness means mindfulness of the 4 foundations of mindfulness, satipatthana, which are body, feelings, mind, and mind objects. According to the Buddhism, in reality, life has derangement, which is thought derangement as it is mentioned in derangement discourse, the arrangement section, as follows. The same cause as in earlier discourse happened. You all monks, perception derangements, thought derangements, and opinion derangement consist of 4. To regard what is impermanent as permanent, to regard what is suffering as happy, to regard non-self as self, to regard what is not fine as fine. Derangement, vipalasa, means disability to behave and think normally according to the reality, such as perception derangement, sana vipalasa, which means disability to have right perception or idea. Mind of people in general have derangements relating to the reality of life, body, and compounded things. Therefore, observing the Noble Eightfold Path, number 7, right mindfulness, by always being mindful of 4 foundations of mindfulness, satipatthana, which are mindfulness as regards body, feelings, mind, and mind objects, will enable us to be aware of reality of our life, that is, it is suffering. We are not able to realize that life is suffering because we lack mindfulness and consciousness on our life in reality. The Noble Eightfold Path, number 7, enables us to be mindful of body, feelings, mind, and mind objects. This helps us be aware of life state that is suffering. This is true according to Buddhist teachings. We have to practice mind to be so mindful and conscious that we can get rid of suffering by continuing exercising the Noble Eightfold Path, number 8, right concentration. We have to know and understand more Dhamma to be fundamental in practicing mind concentration meditation and insight meditation, which are the most important issue in Buddhism. To practice to eradicate suffering, we require perseverance in performing mental wholesomeness. That is, to meditate, to cultivate wholesomeness, an inborn trait that is in mind. The mentioned wholesomeness can be developed by concentration meditation and insight meditation. Thus, we have to know well about meditation so that we can practice our mind correctly. First of all, we should understand concentration, samadhi. It means mental establishment, one-pointedness of mind, to make mind a calm, to attain enlightenment. There are 3 levels of samadhi. Momentary concentration, khanika samadhi. It is a short concentration. It is not good enough. For example, when we start practicing mindfulness of breathing, anapanasati, we point our mind at the tip of the nose to perceive inhalation and exhalation. Sometimes we can perceive them, sometimes we cannot. This is momentary concentration. Proximate concentration, upakara samadhi. It is higher than momentary concentration. The proximate concentration is approaching absorption jhana. At this stage, we will experience some mental images sometimes. We will feel as if there was a candlelight nearby us or a light shining bright towards us. There is another feeling rising as mental reflux when mind develops concentration to upakara samadhi. It is called rapture about Dhamma, which is a feeling of delight, zest, and contentment that occurs for a while. Rapture about Dhamma comprises 5 categories. Lesser thrill, kudakapiti. It is a slight sense of contentment. We will experience goose pimples, teardrops. It is a feeling of the rapture of Dhamma at the first stage. Momentary joy, kanikapiti. We will feel thrilled like lightning. Showering joy, okatikapiti. We will tingle like when waves are breaking on the shore. Uplifting joy, opengapiti. It is a thrilling emotion. We feel uplifted and express the feeling or do something unintentionally, such as an exclamation. 5. Pervading rapture, Faranapiti. It is diffuse rapture. We will feel imbued with infused cold rising all over the body. We will feel that the body is light and feel as if the body became unusually bigger and bigger and filled up the room where we sit practicing meditation. These 5 raptures about Dhamma are indicators indicating that our mind develops one-pointedness to the level of proximate concentration, upakara samadhi. When our mind experiences rapture number 5, our mind will then develop further to absorption, jhana. It means that mind is so concentrated that it develops full concentration, apanasamadhi. Mediators will not be able to know in which jhana their minds are except that they understand how 5 categories of rapture occur. Mind that develops concentration to jhana state has to always experience rapture to 5 before. In this connection, whenever we meditate and experience rapture number 5, please bear in mind that mind is on the threshold of attaining jhana, which is full concentration, apanasamadhi. The transition period of mind from being at the level of proximate concentration, upakara samadhi, to the first absorption, Matha Majhana, we can notice mind state in rapture number 5 as indicators. 3. Full concentration. Apana Samadhi. Mind is fully concentrated, solely established, more concentrated than Upakara Samadhi. It is jhana level up to the highest level of concentration, Samadhi, which is meditative attainment, Samapati, comprising 8 attainments, 4 jhanas of the fine material sphere, Rupajhana, and 4 jhanas of the formless sphere, Arupajhana. To conclude, concentration in Apanasamadhi commences from jhana state only. Jhana absorption is a state of serene contemplation attained by meditation. Mind is one-pointed to a sense object and becomes concentrated, calm. This process is called developing jhana. For example, a monk is developing jhana, an ascetic is developing jhana. There are 4 levels of jhana. 1. The first jhana, Matha Majhana, comprises 5 factors which are thought, discursive thinking, like mental feelings of ordinary person, delight, happiness due to solitude or quietude, and mental one-pointedness, akagata. 2. The second jhana, Dutiyahana, consists of 3 factors which are delight, happiness due to concentration, and mental one-pointedness. No more thought and discursive thinking. 3. The third jhana is comprised of 2 factors which are happiness and mental one-pointedness. No more delight. The fourth jhana, Katudhajana, is comprised of 2 factors which are equanimity and mental one-pointedness. No more happiness. All these 4 jhana are absorptions of the fine material sphere, Rupa jhana, where material is sense object. They are included in the form plane, Rupavakara, and meditative attainment, Samapati, that is, scrupulously calm state of mind. Specific attainment developed through firm concentration on sense objects. Highly specific attainment through various concentrations, such as absorption attainment, consequence attainment. Absorption attainment consists of 8 to 4 absorption of fine material sphere, 4 absorptions of formless sphere. What we should know about mind practicing is that samadhi, concentration, and samatha have the same meaning. Samatha means to make mind calm by concentrating on a sense object, such as anapanasati, which is mindfulness on breathing. Regarding to calm, it is explained that the occurrence of sense objects is calm. Rest of mind is calm. One-pointedness of mind is calm. Spotlessness of mind is calm, etc. Another point concerning concentration we should know and understand is hindrances. Nirvana, which are obstacles preventing us from attaining virtue. We do not succeed in training mind to be concentrated because hindrances as various mind states obstruct mind. We have to fight to defeat unwholesome mind states. We will then be able to practice mind to be one-pointed. There are 6 hindrances, namely, sensual desire, pleasure and satisfaction and sensuality, ill will, hatred, malevolence, aversion. 3. Sloth and torpor, stolidity and drowsiness. 4. Distraction, remorse, restlessness of mind, and anxiety. 5. Doubt, uncertainty. 6. Ignorance, lack of knowledge, delusion. We have to study and remember all mind state of hindrances. Hindrances are unwholesome mind state occurring in mind. We have to notice them well, and we will then be able to understand them and eliminate them so that we can accomplish concentration. There is a sign indicating whether we develop concentration, to which level our concentration progresses, and whether we are developing jhana. That sign is mental image. nimitta, which is mental reflex or boundary maker. When mind develops more concentration, some signs will happen in the mind. They are called mental images, nimitta. Thus, if we study and understand mental images, we will be able to know by ourselves whether we succeed in training mind to be concentrated, to which level we are making progress. Nimitta is a sign, an omen, a mental image reflecting mind state while practicing concentration meditation, insight meditation. For example, seeing a light or candlelight. Different mental images appearing depend on how much mind is concentrated, to which level concentration is developed. Appearance of mental images depends on the practice method. For example, in concentration meditation, concentration is induced by gazing at any of 10 objects. The mental images appearing thereafter are different from the ones by mindfulness on breathing. Anapanasati. When we practice, we have to realize how the mental image appearing during such a practice is. This will enable us to understand and know to what level our concentration meditation and insight meditation progress and whether our practice is correct. We should know and remember by ourselves the characteristics of mental image appearing in each meditation practice. Here in after is an explanation about mental images during mindfulness on breathing. Anapanasati Kamathahana, which is a type of concentration meditation. Samathabhavana. They are as follows. 1. During momentary concentration, Kanikasamhadhi, no mental images appear at this stage. We only realize inhalation and exhalation. Sometimes we can do, sometimes we cannot. Mind is concentrated only momentarily. 2. During proximate concentration, Upakara Samhadi, many mental images appear at this stage. We feel as if we saw a light. Sometimes it seems that there was a candlelight near us. Sometimes we feel as though a light was flashing to our face. If you experience these mental images, be aware that your mind develops proximate concentration. While our eyes are open as usual, we see as if a cigarette smoke billowed for a while. While sitting, eyes closed, doing meditation, we see a skeleton moving back and forth for a while and disappear. If we feel like to see it, we will not see it again. We see divine images inside while sitting, eyes closed, doing meditation. We see image of the past events. During proximate concentration, we experience a mental image called rapture about Dhamma. Dhamma piti, rapture about Dhamma, occurs before mind becomes so established that jhana is developed. Rapture is a feeling of natural phenomena. Rapture about the Dhamma, Dhamma piti, is contentment. It is a feeling of clearness, cheerfulness, rejoices. There are 5 levels of rapture about the Dhamma. 1. Lesser thrill, kudakapiti, is the rapture during which we experience goose pimples. 2. Momentary joy, kan ikapiti, is the rapture during which we experience teardrops, even nothing irritates eyes. 3. Showering joy, okantikapiti, is the rapture during which we feel that our body sways like a ship hit by wave rolls. 4. Uplifting joy, ubengapiti, is the rapture during which we feel that our body is light and floats from the floor and may float very far and high. 5. Pervading rapture, pharanapiti, is the rapture during which we tingle and feel relived. We feel as if our body became unusually bigger, like a distended bag, and bigger till it filled up the room where we sit meditating. This rapture, number 5, is the last rapture before mind develops jhana. All above raptures are mental images and mental phenomena experienced in mind before mind becomes so concentrated that mind develops jhana. Before mind develops jhana, mind always has to experience rapture from level 1 to level 5. Mental images during each rapture will enable meditators to know to which level they progress their practice and whether they gain the right fruits according to the theory mentioned heretofore. If meditators notice and remember all images appearing in mind during meditation, they will understand better by themselves. All what aforementioned are mental images at the stage of proximate concentration, upakara samadhi, resulting from mindfulness on breathing, anapanasati. What we should know and be aware about mental images during proximate concentration is that do not pay attention to mental images that appear, only realize how they are. Do pay attention only to sense object of mindfulness on breathing. This is not to miss mindfulness on every single inhalation and exhalation. It is because mental images are signs indicating that there are temporary changes in mind. That kind of mind is not mature according to Buddhism. It is not solely established yet. The mature mind in Buddhism is a mind that is concentrated and established solely in 4 jhanas. This is the ultimate goal of meditation. When mind is concentrated till it passes the level of proximate concentration, upakara samadhi, it comes close to the jhana state. This is indicated by mental images appearing in the level 5 of rapture. Then mind will develop jhana. Next will be the explanation on full concentration, apanasamadhi. 3. During full concentration, apanasamadhi. At this stage, there are no mental images which appear during mindfulness on breathing, anapanasati kamathana, but mental state in each level of jhana. Level of concentration during full concentration starts from the first jhana onwards. If the mental concentration is lower than jhana state, it means that the mind is still in proximate concentration level, upakara samadhi. We should know the meaning of jhana. Jhana means a state of serene contemplation attained from meditation. Meditation is exercise to fix mindfulness on a sense object, such as mindfulness on breathing. It has to be exercised by watching inhalation and exhalation continuously. There are 2 types of jhana in Buddhism. They are jhana of the fine material sphere, rupajhana, comprising the first force jhana, and jhana of formless sphere, arupajhana. The way to indicate the level of jhana is that we have to notice mental state in our mind, how we feel, how the changes, which level of jhana that mental state corresponds to. When we know how to notice and remember the mental state while meditating, we will know in which level of jhana our mental state is. This will enable us to know the result of our practice according to Buddhism, and assist us in taking care of our mind, not to deteriorate from jhana state, because we know the result of our mind by ourselves from noticing the mental feeling rising as mental phenomena during each level of concentration in jhana level. We have to know and understand that the mental feelings rising during the first 4th jhana are the feelings that rise during sitting meditation with eyes closed. There is another mental feeling rising during the 4th jhana when we train our mind so well that mind can be separated from body. Such a feeling can be elaborated as follows. With the eyes open, in front of us we see somebody with red lips smiling to us, like a small Buddha image holding a fan made of palm leaves. Wherever we walk, he seems to follow us, appearing in front of us always. We feel as if there was another state surrounding us. Please bear in mind and remember that this is a feeling in fourth jhana, when mind is completely separated from body. Please do not believe in this, except you try yourself first. Mental images appearing while practicing mindfulness on breathing are mental phenomena according to mind when mind is concentrated and progresses to higher levels. They are signs indicating the levels of concentration or indicating that we do not make any progress. We will be able to know by ourselves whether our mind is one-pointed and to which level we practice concentration meditation. We know and understand aforementioned mental images. We have to know, understand, and learn by heart the details of mental images resulting from mindfulness on breathing because they enable us to understand how to meditate correctly and fruitfully. Mental images resulting from mindfulness on breathing are most important because mindfulness on breathing is fundamental meditation exercise in Buddhism, and it suits everybody's character. If we exercise meditation by insight development, we will experience mental images also, but they are called imperfections of insight, which are defilements of insight or immature insight that makes us misunderstand that we are enlightened. This prevents practitioners from making progress in insight knowledge. There are 10 imperfections of insight, namely, illumination, luminous aura, knowledge, trance, 3. Rapture, unprecedented joy, 4. Tranquility, calmness, 5. Bliss, pleasure, 6. Conviction, assurance, resolution, 7. Exertion, well-exerted energy, 8. Established mindfulness, 9. Equanimity, 10. Delight. The 10 imperfections of insight make practitioners misunderstand that they obtain result when one of them arises. This prevents practitioners from resuming the practice because they would think that they achieved the final goal of the practice. Therefore, when we exercise insight meditation, some of the 10 imperfections may arise. Do not pay too much attention to them. Just realize how they are and resume the practice. If we do not know about this, they will be hindrances, mislead us, and make us misunderstand. In this regard, when we start the practice, we have to know which means we are practicing. Concentration meditation or insight meditation, so that we know which mental image resulting from which meditation. It is understood that concentration meditation is aimed to make mind calm. In practicing, we need bhavana to make mind calm more easily. Bhavana means mental growth, mental cultivation, mental development, mental training to cultivate concentration such by praying. Bhavana enables mind to be stronger. Continuous bhavana will produce good results. It is mentioned in the 3 baskets that it is named bhavana because it means regular practice. There are 2 means to cultivate mental wholesomeness. They are concentration meditation, samadhi, and insight meditation, vipassana. All aforementioned is knowledge about concentration meditation. Next will be about insight meditation. We are to acquire fundamental knowledge which is necessary for insight development so that we can practice correctly and fruitfully. Vipassana means insight, development of wisdom to gain insight into compounded things, sakhara, that they are not permanent, subject to suffering and soullessness. Sakhara means body, things compounded to be body and mind. According to Buddhism, our body is 5 aggregates, khandha, or it can be called sakhara. Khandha is a part of body and mind. Khandha is composed of 5 aggregates: corporality, rupa, sensation, vedana, perception, sana, mental formations, sakhara, consciousness, vijnana. Corporeality, rupa, is the thing that can be perceived through eyes. It is one of the five aggregates. Rupa, Dhamma, or Rupa are the things that can be perceived through eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body. They are visible objects, sound, smell, taste, and thing that can be sensed at body or body doors. In short, Rupa or things are visible through eyes. Another component of life is Nama. Nama comes along with Rupa. Nama Dhamma or Nama is invisible thing. It cannot be perceived through eye, ear, nose, tongue, or body. It can be perceived through mind only. Sensation, vidhana, is feeling of happiness, suffering, or neutrality. It is one of the five aggregates. Perception, sanna, is remembrance of what that can be perceived through six sense doors. Mental formations, sakhara, are thought, volitional activities, essential conditioning mind to be wholesome, unwholesome, or neutral. Consciousness, vijnana, is awareness of senses perceived through six sense doors. They are eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, and mind consciousness. This aggregate is mind. Five aggregates in Buddhism means our life, which consists of body, rupa, and mind, nama. Knowledge about body and mind is essential for insight meditation, vipassana, because vipassana is practiced by mindfulness on rupa and nama. Next is fundamental knowledge required for insight meditation. There's the 12 sense bases, ayatana. Ayatana are sense organs and sense objects. For example, eye is a sense organ, and visible objects are sense objects. The 12 sense bases are divided into two groups, 6 internal sense bases and 6 external sense bases. 6 internal sense bases comprise eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. 6 external sense bases comprising visible objects, sound, smell, taste, tangible objects, and mind objects. Sense base, ayatana, has the same meaning as sense door, davara. Sense door is a channel through which we perceive sense objects. Internal sense doors are the channels for ear, eye, nose, tongue, body, and mind. External sense bases are external corporeality. They are color, or visible objects. When light appears to eyes, we see the colors of white, black, red, or green, etc. They enable us to see visible objects. Sound is what that is perceived through ears, such as thunder. Smell is what that is perceived through nose, such as bad smell, good smell, etc. Taste is what that is perceived through tongue, such as sourness, sweetness, and saltiness. Tangible objects is what that is perceived through body, such as cold, heat, softness, hardness, roughness, fineness. We can perceive sense object through sense bases or sense doors because nama, which is mind, functions. We sense objects because we have mind inside the body. That is why mind is extremely important for all lives and for the meditation, both concentration and insight. Sita is mind. Its function is to perceive, think, and reflect. It is mentality. It is formless. It cannot be perceived through eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body. It comes along with materiality, rupa dhamma. In Buddhism, mind is mentality. It is the invisible. It is a nature which perceives sense objects, or it is a state that perceives sense objects. It has 4 functions: to be aware of, to perceive, to remember sense objects, and to think about them. Our life comprises 2 parts, which are body and mind, or materiality and mentality. According to Buddhism, Mind of people in general has defilements, which are greed, aversion, and ignorance, etc. All these defilements are roots of unwholesomeness that people express through body, speech, and mind. Minds of people in general are impure. Thus people lead their lives according to the power of defilements manifesting at six sense doors, which are eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. It is stated that mind perceives its external sense objects through sense organs. It is mind that is aware of, perceive, think about, and remember sense objects when touched by external sense objects. Then mind state will change in accordance with the power of defilements. If it is in a positive way, it will be virtue, wholesome deed according to the religious teachings. If it is in a negative way, it will be vice, unwholesome deed, or religious prohibition. Sometimes it is neither virtue nor vice, such as playing music, listening to a song, etc. According to Buddhism, minds of all ordinary men, regardless of race and language, are influenced by defilements. We have feelings when we are touched at sense organs. We have minds inside body, and so we can perceive feelings of sense objects through six sense doors of our body. If we die, we will not have any feelings because there will be no mind to perceive sense objects through sense organs. Therefore, mind is an essential part. If we do not have mind in our body, it means that we pass away. What can indicate that we have mind as part of life is the feeling rising when we perceive touch through external sense objects. We can compare between those who are alive and those who die. We will then understand well how mind is. As aforementioned, mind is essential for our life, and mind is very important according to Buddhism also. It is because the hard core of Buddhism is mind development. The Lord Buddha taught people to practice mind so that it can be perfectly pure and can develop wisdom to be able to attenuate, give up, and eradicate completely all defilements in the mind. That is why mind is essential for life and Buddhism. Without mind we are dead. We cannot perform wholesome deeds from simple ones to the sublime ones in Buddhism. As a result, the Lord Buddha provided principal teachings people to perform wholesome deeds, which are virtues to train mind to achieve the ultimate goal in Buddhism. We are still alive and perceive external sense objects because our mind still exists. In our mind stops functioning, our body will be like a corpse or a log, since our body stops perceiving sense objects, and it will only decay finally. This is the truth of life, that mind has to exist together with body. It is only mind that perceives, knows, remembers sense objects, and thinks about them. According to Buddhism, mind of ordinary men are the ones that are occupied by defilements. If we do not eliminate defilements by Buddhist means, we will lead our lives and behave in accordance with the power of defilements, which are the causes of physical and mental unhappiness, that is suffering. This is the truth that the Lord Buddha discovered. Our original mind is pure and naturally beautiful. It is called pure mind. But defilements come to our mind. They make it blemished, impure, according to their might. Buddhism teaches people to develop mind to eradicate entirely from mind all defilements through the threefold training, sikha, comprising morality, concentration, and wisdom. They are practices to control people's external deeds, both bodily and verbally, as well as internal deed, which is mental development. Another point concerning mind that we should know, understand, and learn by heart to be part of concentration meditation and insight meditation is fundamental characteristics of mind. Mental state is a nature that arises, falls down, keeps changing all the time, and never stays still, like monkeys, who are naughty, rarely stop still, and always move to and fro. It is a state of constant flux. During practicing, we encounter difficulty because mind will struggle and oppose. Since mind does not like to stay still, it is difficult to control and dominate it. Mind loves to follow pleasant sense objects, which mind likes and needs. In conclusion, knowledge about mind is very beneficial for us in meditation practice. These are the most correct ways to develop mind in Buddhism, so that the wholesome result can be produced. In order to practice mind correctly, we must have knowledge about mind, especially the characteristics of mind. We have to understand them and learn by heart. It will then be most useful for us at the time of meditation practice. Apart from that, all fundamental knowledge mentioned earlier that is essential also assists us in practicing correctly.